And we are underway with Series 2 of the Canadian Esports Nationals, the Rocket League group stage. The Saints fought off a reverse sweep from a very, very talented University of Ottawa squad. They end up taking that one in Game 5, overtime nonetheless as well. So all the stress you could ever ask for. Georgian College had to do their own little comeback story. They were down 2-0 in their Game 5, ended up winning it, I believe, 4-2. So we should have a great series on our hands. The winner will be guaranteed a spot in winter finals later in the week. The loser, I believe, will go face University of Ottawa. So a very strong team waiting in losers. Want to try to avoid that as much as possible.
And right off the bat, we've seen about 2 shots from the Saints here. Christian finds one, just barely knocks it off that post. And now we're back to the classic Game 1, the classic first few minutes of ping pong here. You know, sometimes it feels like unless that goal is found in the first 15 seconds, we're going straight to a deadlock for at least a few minutes here. But the Saints might be able to change that. Quint doesn't have that angle right, but it's Christian to clean that one up. All 3 Saints members on that play there. You see that one, Boots out of the way there. No bump needed, really. Just the angle was correct.
That's why it's great to get those rebounds, find that second and third chance. By that time, most of the Georgian members are probably going to be out of position. If they're not, then you give them a gentleman's handshake and say, good save to you, sir. But they do find that first goal. They found themselves on the other side of that scoreline a couple times against University of Ottawa. And I know they might not admit it. I know they were stressing hardcore during the rest of that series. They want to try to make things a little bit easier on themselves, not have to go through that turmoil. And Spoods is going to put it right into his own net. Bit of a miscue, maybe expecting that teammate to pinch, but Spoods going to gift wrap one. Christmas came early for Georgian College. We have a 1-1 game.
Yeah, and it's Trent to get credit for that goal, but there we are, back to even here. 3:42 on the clock as we get back into game here. Off that kickoff, it's going to send it over to Jackie Boy, and I believe it was Jackie Boy who actually found a lot of those goals for Georgian College at the end of the other series, but Quint answering right back. Saints scoring 3 goals in this game, and we've got a 2-1 game on our hands.
Yeah,
so.
I think Spoots has 3 points in the game by that line. I think 2 assists on the 1 goal there, but the Saints, they do get that goal back after they basically spot one to Georgian. But hey, Georgian College, to their credit, as long as you're on the other side there, that goal is going to count all the same, regardless what team puts it in there. They've shown so far they can definitely play this ball a little bit. Oh, they're getting stacked up in the net, though. Christian being an absolute thorn in the side there. Trent is going to make that save. Spoots not able to quite find that second touch. Quint trying to clean things up in that middle area as well. Georgian trying to get this ball out, get some pressure going back the other way. It has been all Saints in this offensive zone so far. For better or worse, the time they were in their own end ended up being that goal for Georgian. Still only a 1-goal game as well. Georgian has all day to come back. And hey, they just came back in a Game 5 sweat of a series. I would not put it past them to be able to make it back in this one.
Yeah, but it seems like the Saints have been able to, take that momentum they found in the last game, take, the feeling off of that victory and move it into this one. We see Spoods follow up on that ball, but good knock out of there from Raid. This little flip finds himself back in the corner with that ball. Sends it right down the right side, straight over to Spoods. And Spoods actually going to whip on that one a little bit in the corner. Jackie Boy sets it up for his team, but it's Spoods. He might be able to just run all the way with it back towards the middle. No third Saint to follow up. Quint was playing the defense there, but we're right back into the same situation. Back out towards the middle. Christian in the corner, and might be back to ping pong here, Joe. But
yeah, that demo trying to come through at least to get that space, or at least stop that Saints breakout from coming through, which it did for the time being. But Quint not going to care about that one. Going to take that ball over the middle. Going to find that demo onto Raid. Nothing going to come of it, though. Nothing going to materialize this time around. We have 2 minutes left to play. The Saints holding on to that 2-1 lead. Georgian College has threatened a couple times here. They haven't found quite as many shots as I'm sure they'd like to. A little bit of a teammate bump there, a little bit of a miscue. Nonetheless, though, Georgian still going to be okay to get back on defense here. They still have tons of time to play with as well. We know how fast goals can come. They scored. We saw the last game they played in. I think there was 3 or 4 goals in the span of 30 seconds. So this is a game where anything can happen at any moment. Christian, though, trying to find that second touch. Not going to find the goal. Spood's going to come through as well. Not going to be able to find it. Now Quinto, all 3 members taking a crack at it. All 3 members going to get denied on that goal line. Georgian College keeping themselves alive in this one for the time being until Christian puts in his second of the game there. That's going to increase the lead to 2 and make the Saints feel a whole lot more comfortable.
Yeah, right off the Georgian College defender there. Jackie Boy in net. Just not the right angle to find that one. And that's a 2-goal lead for the Saints. A minute 20 left. We've seen Georgian College hustle, especially in that last series. They're not out just yet, but coming up against the Saints, they really haven't been able to find some of the crazy offensive opportunities that we had seen in that short minute that we were able to catch their game. But coming through in this one, I mean, you know, you took the other game to game 5. You've got to assume this team has got tricks up their sleeve. Sometimes you just have that slow game 1. Sometimes you need that adjusting game. Coming in here, Raid. Every single time they're trying to get one of these passes off, it's just shut down by an onslaught of players from the Saints. Saints have been pretty comfortable triple committing in this game. Maybe that's something Georgian College might be able to pick up on. Just start sending a couple lobs when that happens, because if you're able to do that, we've seen how many times some teams just get caught out from it. But Christian, unrelenting pressure here from the Saints. 30 seconds remaining, and the shots will not stop. 6 shots on Quint there.
Yeah, the Saints have definitely had the possession lead this entire game. Look at Raid has 5 saves, keeping Georgian College at least in striking distance, although 15 seconds to play, down 2 goals. Saints trying to run off this clock. The Saints played a much better game this time of keeping that ball, keeping possession, getting these consistent chances. They never really gave Georgian College a chance to get out offensively, try to get these set passing plays we saw from University of Ottawa last time. It's been a whole lot of St. Clair dominance, at least in this game 1. We still have a couple more games to play, but the Saints are already looking a lot better in this series. The only goal they're going to get scored on, Spoods just handed it over and said, here you go.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes that happens, right?
Hey,
it's
it counts all the same
in the end. Yeah, it counts all the same for Georgian College. And, you know, Georgian College not really able to get on the shot counter there. They had 2 shots in comparison to Saints, 14 in that game. So
close?
Saints just going straight up on the offensive here in game 1. Not going to let any leads slip away from them at all, as 3 goals to go in from the Saints there and take game 1.
Yeah, and I like that strategy of coming out with their heads on fire against University of Ottawa. Not that they were playing like timid or like nervous or anything, but you could tell this game, they were swarming to the ball. They were willing to double commit, like you said. A couple of those times, they sent 2 members to try to find that pinch. They were, they felt like they were very comfortable this game. In the first series, it felt like they were comfortable the first 2 games. And then maybe not so comfortable as games 3, 4, and 5 went on. But they do take that first game similar to that first series. But as we said before, there is lots more Rocket League to be played, and things happen at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, and I mean, when you take a look at that game, too, you got to give props to Georgian College. 14 shots is insane. It's rare we even see double-digit shots from a team in Rocket League, right? And you come into this one, and you only drop 3 goals out of those 14. That is a great save percentage from yourself. And when the pressure is non-stop, you got to take your small victories where you can find them. As long as you're able to shut down the Saints in those triple commits and maybe start to give yourself a bit of a lead off of them, or just give yourself some opportunities off of them. Georgian College, you'd used this word before, definitely within striking distance, like definitely still in this game, even being down 1-0 in the series. Now, almost a minute chunked off the clock, still 0-0. The Saints finding the pressure in this end nonetheless. Slow one from Quint there, just kind of tapped and shut down by Jackie Boy's Raid. Can't really get anything started. Christian, good demo from Jackie Boy, double demo from Jackie Boy. This could be what Georgian College needed to get something started, but the timing is just not there. They're too far in their end. Yeah,
Jackie Boy picking up that double kill, but that ball was slowly crawling to that Georgian side. They weren't really able to, pair it with anything. Although, Spood's going to take that one away right at the goal line. A minute and a half through this game, no one on the scoreboard quite yet. The Saints are playing such an aggressive style. Definitely Georgian College, they can find a demo or 2. They can set up this counterattack. There are definitely going to be some holes in that Saints defense. They're going to find that shot. Jackie Boy going to deny that one, getting it done on both ends of the floor. Christian now trying to take it himself. Doesn't have enough boost to finish that one off the reset. Now Quint taking this one into the corner, trying to wait for that teammate to cycle this ball through. It's going to be Christian. Going to get bumped out though. Christian trying to fake out Trent there. Not going to be the wiser. Quint going to have to play this one back into the corner. 2 minutes in, still no goals to be scored.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slow game, especially compared to game 1 here. Both these teams kind of back to square one. As this is the Saints, they haven't found the same offensive opportunities as they had found so much of in game 1, and a lot of that is attributed to Jackie Boy and Raid here on the defense. Just contesting, right? And now we've seen Georgian College, we've seen them get, I think, 2 passing plays off now, and even though they have not hit the back of that net, it's the fact that they're finding them this game.
And their defense has been stout the entire series. But the only goals, like, the Saints did a great job of finding really good goals and creating those angles. But their defense, they made, what, 12 saves last game? They're already working toward that total this game more than likely. They just have to try to find those offensive chances and not just finding those one-off chances. Like, that was a fantastic chance they just had. This is what they have to do. Pair those demos, empty out that net. This ball's in a very dangerous spot on that orange side. They're going to try to find that goal. Raid, though, not able to capitalize. They're definitely playing a much better game, too. As you said, though, just yet to crack that scoreboard.
Yeah, good follow-up from Spoods on that defense as well, shutting down that opportunity. Now Christian back towards the middle. Quint there, using that boost on the follow-up. Oh, it's flying high. Raid! What a great angle on that save. Sends it out towards the corner. That was prime for a Saint to come in there and close it off, but there's the lob straight over the defense. That's what happens when the openings are found. You see, they rotated off of the net there, and Christian, wow, off a raid as well.
Yeah.
Takes the contestation, and it is good.
Yeah, the scoop and the score for Christian. The Saints opening up the scoring. Only took us 3.5 minutes, believe it or not. As you said, a much slower pace game. Georgian College seems to have settled down just a little bit. They found a lot more saves this game. The defense has been great. It's, as we keep saying, the offense are just having a hard time kind of getting started. And credit the Saints' aggression as well. The Saints aren't really giving them any room to breathe with the ball. So if they're not able to find that outlet pass or find someone deep in the corner, it's going to be really tough to break through that front line and try to find these goals. The Saints, though, had a decently hard time themselves breaking this front line of Georgian. Only 1 goal in this game, too, after putting up a couple in that first one. But we have a 1-goal game on our hands, and that means any team can possibly walk away with this one still.
100%. Quint flies in from the skies, but it's only going to end up going over to Christian. Aki Boy to take this one down, and 1-goal lead, 50 seconds left. Saints, you really got to score another one to close this one out. That's off the backboard. This is prime for Raid to find that one. Quint finds a demo, but he's not in the right position to make that save. And what an opening there that Raid found. Look at that, right above Christian there. 1-1 now. Georgian College finds their first goal of their own there in this series, tying it back up. And what a slow game we've seen compared to the first one.
I know, very shocking. Both of these teams had a lot more exciting, or a lot more goals scored at least. You know, some people love good defense out there, and that definitely excites them, and that is all glorious and everything. But Georgian finally getting on the board, finally utilizing that counterattack as well. The Saints, they're playing so aggressive at that half-court line. Georgian was finally able to send one deep, get behind the defense. Even right here, they're getting a couple good shots at the net. They're maybe starting to feel themselves a little bit, getting some momentum going to their side, trying to find these back-to-back chances. Quint, though, going to get pinched into that ball from one of the members of Georgian, finding that bump. Trent going to find that demo onto Quint as well. And don't look now, but Georgian College has this ball deep in the Saints' end. They're trying to make a play and find this last-second goal, though in all likelihood, overtime is going to be on the horizon. Those Spoods has a little bit of boost to play with. Flip reset going to be hit. Not going to find the net. Those Spoods cutting that one real close. But we are going back to overtime in Game 2 of this series. The Saints trying to put themselves on match point. Georgian trying to push this thing in yet another game. They're going to make a nice early save.
Yeah, close one from Spoods there, but just on the right of the post as Spoods keeping this pressure alive. Back pass towards Quint. Double touch is not good as Raid gets in there and gets his hands on the ball. Up towards the sky, Jackie Boy takes the follow-up, but if Saints are able to just keep this in Georgian's end the whole time, you know, all it takes is a clear from Raid to stop that, but a demo as well, but Quint's right on this net. Spoods with the follow-up. There's the goal to close it out. Game 2 for the Saints now closed out, but in overtime fashion, we have seen 2 games on the complete opposite ends of the spectrum here. I mean, one game, very high shot count, decently high goal count to boot as well, and then coming into this next one, we get a 1-1 straight into overtime. Nothing scored until like 3 minutes into the game. Like, it's just an absolute roller coaster here in Canadian Esports Nationals, and Saints looking to close this out with a 3-0 and just sail on towards that main bracket.
Yeah, we've had a lot of close games already tonight. A lot of one-goal games. I think the University of Ottawa series, we had 2 or 3 one-goal games. Now Georgian having a little bit of struggles in that game 1, finding the back of the net, but able to find it in this game 2, make a really, really strong push. It was just ultimately a great setup play from the Saints at the end there. I believe it was Spoods and Quint. Just that typical off the backboard, send it right down the middle. Somebody was waiting and willing to score that goal. So now, once again, on match point, will Georgian be able to push this one 5 games just like University of Ottawa was? The Saints, if they have it their way, they're going to try to close this one out, but the duality of Rocket League, we go from 7 goals in a game to no one scores in the first 4 minutes, ultimately comes down to this game and who can execute.
And it shows progress from Georgian College in that first game, moving into the second, shutting down the Saints and their offensive opportunities here. Spoods tries to carry one all the way from the other end there, but it's going to touch ground just before that crease and be found by the Georgian College players here. Raid one off that backboard. Quint in possession. Back down. Jackie Boy can find a good angle here, but it's a little too close to the corner there. And Christian now making a run with it.
Yeah, gonna go back into that blue zone. Spoods taking that little first touch over the middle area. Gonna dodge one defender. Still carrying this one through the air. Gonna get it past the second as well. Shot is gonna come through. A beautiful job to contest that one by Raid, though. The net was pretty empty otherwise, but he makes a great job stepping up to that ball, not being afraid of that early challenge, realizing, okay, I'm gonna take the chance here, but ultimately it does pay off. They're gonna get this ball into this orange zone, try to get some more time of possession in the Saints end. I would have to guess it's gonna be a key part of that game plan. Get shot after shot after shot. We saw last game, they went from 2 shots to, I believe, 7 or 8. They had much better results. I mean, hell, they pushed it to overtime. That game was on a knife's edge the entire time, but the Saints know this. They're going to try to come back even further, try to find this goal, but yet again, another good contest by Georgia.
Yeah, Spoods not able to keep it in that zone for as long as he wanted to, but Christian from the skies, there's the bounce off the backboard, there's the second touch, and Spoods finds that goal. Textbook backboard play there from the Saints, taking the lead, and Georgian College not able to give the same kind of resistance we saw last game, at least in the starting here, right? There's still a lot of Rocket League to be played, but, you know, maybe it's that game 3 pressure kind of getting to them, that reverse sweep pressure. The real thing, right?
Yeah, hey, it is a very, very, just like we said about momentum, it's one of those things you can't really see it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, but players know it when you're in that moment. If you're a fan of any sports teams, you can feel when your team's starting to maybe lose that lead or when your team's coming back, there's almost something in the air that just kind of inspires the troops. Georgian looking for some form of inspiration right now. They got a lot of time to play with. They have found some success offensively and defensively. Just have to do it consistently now. Have to try to get this goal back from these Saints and even up this game. Great job by Christian to take that one deep into the zone. Spoods there for the second touch, laying it up off the backboard. Gonna be Christian with the assist. Spoods with the goal. Confused me for a second too. I thought Spoods had the self alley there, but it was Christian to set that one up. Look at Spoods, beautiful job. Oh, to cut the angle to the left as well. Wow. Great job. 2-0 lead. 3 minutes to play. The Saints, they're looking to get out of here in 3 games. They don't want the stress of game 5 again.
Yeah, that was one of those shots that is so wild you have to watch the replay, right? Before you even know what's going on. Coming into this one, Georgian tries to start off hot there, but it's Trent whipping that ball onto defenders, and they kind of just get contested. Now Saints keeping this pressure on. Almost halfway into the game here. There's wow, flying up the middle is Spoods, but luckily 2 defenders there from Georgian right in the way. Jackie Boy sit out towards Raid there. Into the corner, Spoods, great contention. Look at all that time wasted just on that single shot there. Wasted about 10 seconds. When you're running with a 2-goal lead, time is everything.
Yeah, especially when you don't really even get a scoring chance out of getting it into the zone. Jackie Boy, though, he's going to have a great chance here trying to land that reset. Did not have quite enough boost. Nonetheless, a great attempt by Georgian to try to get back in this game. Got to start with 1 goal. You're not going to get all 3 games back in 1 second. They got to just go piece by piece here, live in the moment, try to make a read on what St. Clair is doing and try to make an adjustment off of it. Raid trying his best to work offensively, though. Christian ending up with the ball here, going to find that second touch. Not going to be able to find the net, though. Spoods waiting back to try to chip this one into the corner. Raid once again being that main man on offense for Georgian so far, trying to get things going. Second touch not going to be found. Georgian has been threatening a lot these last 30 seconds. They just have yet to finally break through that glass ceiling and find that goal they desperately need with time ticking away.
Yeah, and we know they can find it. I think the key here is consistency, as you've been talking about earlier. There's the demo from Raid. Could be something to work off of, but Jackie Boy looked like he just didn't have the boost to try and follow up on that demo. Now Lion in Saint zone. Raid might be able to make a good pass towards Jackie Boy here, but he's just going to grab the touch himself. Christian knocking it back over to Spoods. We've seen this same play multiple times here from the Saints. Send it over towards the middle. Good contention from Trent there as Quint tries to come in and follow that one up, but now minute on the clock. The time is ticking for Georgian. A great save from Spoods to finish that one out, and 50 seconds left.
Yeah, Georgian is not going away quietly. They are making a mess in front of the Saints net right now. They found 3 or 4 excellent chances these last couple minutes. They are just yet to find that one goal they desperately need. I mean, they need 2, but you got to start with 1. And so far, the Saints trying to now play that possession game, just waste this clock away, try to burn another 15, 20 seconds, really put that tight squeeze on Georgian. They are going to find that goal. Raid doing so much work offensively. Finally going to get Georgian on the board there, and they have just enough time to make some kind of play here and to keep this series extended. Look at Jackie Boy helping out with the pinch as well. Great teamwork from Georgian. They finally find the net, and not a moment too soon.
I mean, the Georgian players got to feel great after that one, but you got to keep your heads in the game as well. You've got 25 seconds now to find this goal, plus any extra off of that buzzer beater there, but Spoods doing a great job of keeping it in this zone. Wow, if that angle would have been just a little bit more to the right, that would have been it all but closed out. 10 seconds left now. Georgian College, it's all up to you. 1 goal here. It's Jackie Boy with the ball. Touched in the air by Spoods. Might just hit the ground here. It's still in the air, but it's the Saints with possession of the ball. They might just be able to send it straight down to the ground, and that's exactly what Christian wants to do to close out the 3-0. Saints moving on to that main bracket.
Yeah, we had a great 2 series, Georgian. Even though those games went the Saints' way, we had, 3-1, 2-1, and then 2-1 or 3-1 again. All those games very, very close. The University of Ottawa series was close. These two series are an indicator of what's to come throughout the rest of the week. We are going to be in store for a fantastic week of esports. Rocket League, the Saints, as you said, they are going to make it through that winner's bracket, qualify for the upper bracket playoffs later in the week. Those other teams are going to scrap it out in that loser's bracket, trying to see who's going to fight for that other spot out of the group. But fantastic series from 2 teams we really didn't know much about, but they showed up, and they showed out in a big, big way.
Yeah, for sure. And now that's about it for us tonight. Possibility of 3 games, but the Saints finish it off in 2. And, hopefully everyone watching enjoyed our inaugural night of Canadian Esports Nationals, because it's going to be the next one. We got lots more. Speaking of lots more, tomorrow night, we're going to have the kickoff of League of Legends here on the stream. So I'd assume the bracket is going to be set up in a similar way, but can't confirm. Yeah, so I am getting the confirmation. So 2 or possibly 3 series of League of Legends tomorrow night. Classic Tuesday League of Legends. We love to see it, but that being said, any other final thoughts here tonight, Jobin?
No, we saw tons of great games. Even Georgia versus Concordia ended up being a fantastic series. A lot of these teams, they want to make a statement. They want to prove that they are amongst the best in Canada. It's such a great way to kick off this series. The rest of the week, I just could not be more excited. It's having an event of this size come together the last little while as it has. It's just awesome for Canadian esports as a whole. It's awesome for a lot of these schools, maybe trying to break into certain titles or get their names known. They have the chance to come and do just that. But luckily for us, the Saints do win their first couple series. But as we said, long week ahead.
Long week ahead, and as we cap out the night, just want to give quick thanks to our production crew here. Kaylee on directing, Danner's there on the observing, and quick thanks to everyone watching our first night here of Canadian Esports Nationals. We will be back tomorrow night once again at 7 o'clock for some League of Legends action. I'm Josh Fundy Pavundi, joined once again by Daniel Jobin. That is going to be it for us tonight. Have a good one.